of the ancient Lago Maggiore to celebrate the joyous union in marriage of their daughter Lara to Clayton.
Dear Lara and Clayton, you're great travelers, and together you've visited many countries, but today you're embarking on your longest journey you will make together, your marriage. For you, I found a recipe for a happy marriage, and I'm going to read it in English and then in Italian, because Clayton wants to learn the language.
Beginner Italian.
So, the recipe has been written by an American couple who's been married 56 years. So, recipe for a happy marriage. Ingredients: 1 cup of consideration, 1 cup of courtesy, 2 cups of flattery, carefully concealed, 2 cups of milk of human kindness, 1 gallon of faith and trust in each other, 2 cups of praise, 1 small pinch of the in-laws, 1 reasonable budget, 1 cup of contentment, a generous dash of cooperation, 1 large or several small hobbies, 1 cup of blindness to each other's faults. Flavor with frequent portions of recreation and happy memories. Stir well and remove any specks of jealousy, temper, and criticism. Sweeten generously with love and keep warm with a steady flame of devotion.
Okay.
I'm now going to read it in Italian, for Italian contingency, for Clayton, obviously. Ricetta per un matrimonio felice. Questa ricetta per un matrimonio felice è stata scritta da una coppia americana che ha compiuto 56 anni di matrimonio. Le dosi sono quindi americane, e cioè 2 tazze di adulazione attentamente nascosta, 2 tazze di gentilezza, 1 gallone di fede e fiducia l'uno nell'altro, 2 tazze di lodi, un grande hobby o diversi piccoli, 1 tazza di cecità, addolcire generosamente con amore e mantenere il calore con una fiamma costante di devozione.
Brava.
Sì, no, ma questa è facile, è la prossima che è pochi. Ho trovato anche un realistica poesia nuziale. A realistic poem that goes far beyond this wedding, this public celebration. This is just the beginning of a path you will travel together, with obstacles to overcome and possible storms to weather. One day you will sit side by side, hand withered and bent, thinking over the years, the good times you've spent. You'll remember the laughs, you'll recall the special places, and look far beyond the greyed hair and softly lined faces. So take it all in and cherish it today, no matter what happens, no matter what's thrown your way. You're both realistic, every day won't be a dream, but you're in this together because you're a cracking team. Un po' di licenza poetica è stata usata nella traduzione per mantenere il contenuto e le rime, quindi è una realistica.
Lara, you are my best friend, travel companion, confidant, and today I'm honored to call you my wife. The moment I knew that I wanted to marry you was a simple yet profound one. It was a moment that I realized I wanted to share everything that life has to offer with you. The highs and the lows, the exciting and the mundane, the good and the bad, the better and the worse. I wanted to be by your side throughout it all. You are everything that I could hope to find in a wife. You are kind, caring, and beautiful. You are funny to laugh with and occasionally at. You have a spirit for adventure that has taken you across the world and seen you build friendships that you nurture to today. I could not be a luckier man, nor could I have dreamt of a better woman to fall in love with and marry. This may surprise you, but I am not a perfect man and cannot promise you the perfect marriage, if such a thing even exists. However, there are some simple yet hopefully significant promises that I can make you. I promise to be a caring friend, a loving husband, and hopefully a loving father one day to our children. I promise that when we argue, and we will, to choose compassion and forgiveness over bitterness and blame. I promise to kill any spiders that make their way into the family home. Perhaps most importantly, I promise to give us the space to grow as individuals, the commitment to grow together, and to continually strive to be a man that you're proud to love and call your husband. I am so excited to begin this new chapter in our lives together, and I cannot wait to write it with you. May it be filled with everything that makes an adventure worth taking, a love worthy of being chased, and a life worth living. Know that whatever life brings our way, that you will always have my arms and heart to call your home.
Clayton, I don't think that simple words can do justice for the love that I feel for you, but I'm gonna try. You're the most incredible human that I've ever met. You're kind, generous, slightly crazy, but in the best way possible. You make me laugh from the moment that I wake up until when you wrap me in your arms at night. You've lived through and overcome so much in life, which has made you strong, sensitive, determined, and someone who I admire endlessly. We've been through a lot in the past few years, maybe more than some couples face in a lifetime, but we've done so as a team and have come out stronger than ever. I'd follow you to the other side of the world in a heartbeat, because you make me a better person. You drive me to keep dreaming, growing, and learning. I can't promise I won't be grumpy at times, but I vow to be the best version of myself for you and for our future family. You've been my best friend, mentor, playmate, confidant, my greatest accomplishment. But most importantly, you're the love of my life, and you make me happier than I could ever imagine, and more loved than I ever thought possible. Sorry. I vow to be kind and to make you smile every day. To never allow us to go to bed angry. I promise to always be there for you and hold your hand, no matter what life throws our way. I vow to protect you and fight for your dreams, maybe excluding some of the crazy ideas that you sometimes come up with. I promise to be a good wife, friend, and partner in crime. I know that our life together will be one big adventure, and I'm so excited for what comes next. I see these vows not as obligations, but as privileges. I get to laugh with you and cry with you, care for you and share with you. I get to run with you and walk with you, build with you and live with you. I get to have you be the person who I spend the rest of my life with. I get to be there for you and support you. I don't have to honor and cherish you, I get to. I'm the luckiest girl on the planet, and I couldn't be happier or more honored to walk through life with you by my side. Because home is no longer a place, but a person, and that person is you.
Your rings say that even in your uniqueness, you have chosen to be bound together. Let these rings also be a sign that love has substance as well as soul, a present as well as a past, and that despite its occasional sorrows, love is a circle of happiness, wonder and delight. May these rings remind you always of the vows that you have taken here today. Who has the rings? I, Clayton, take you, Lara, to be my lawfully wedded wife.
I, Clayton, take you, Lara, to be my lawfully wedded wife.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold for this day forward.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer or poorer.
For richer or poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Until death do us part.
Until death do us part. It's all right, it's the heat, don't worry about it.
You'll have to put her on a diet.
Yeah. So, no, it's all right. She just needs an ice bucket.
Cold shower, I'll be fine.
Lara. Please repeat after me. I, Lara, take you, Clayton,
I, Lara, take you, Clayton,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer or for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish until death us do part.
to love and to cherish until death us do part.
Before we conclude the ceremony, your cousin Ruth Gypsy would like to say your grandmother's favorite Irish blessing.
May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you both in the palm of your hands.
Thank you. As you seal your partnership with the King, in those moments of doubt and frustration, remember, all you need is
love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
You may kiss. You may kiss.
Very small. I have memories of walking down the River Thames near Shipwreck, and holding a little hand, looking at the cows, and wondering what would become of her life. And today, we have some of the answers. When she was very small indeed, she was very keen to start school, and she pushed us into sending her to school. And that started off with an interview with a very serious Montessori school who took their children very seriously indeed. They insisted on having her for a morning's interview, so we took her there, left her. She skipped off very happily, and when we came to pick her up at lunchtime, the headmistress couldn't help saying to us that among the questions she asked her was, what does your father do? And she said, nothing. And your mum? Well, she's a bit of a problem, really. As I say, she was a bright child. But that impediment didn't hold her back too much. She was accepted into that school and to a couple of others. And eventually, she left school. She'd done well all the way through, came up with good grades, gave us no problems. And she cried on her last day because she was leaving all her friends behind. And we had to try to reassure her that there were other places and other friends. In fact, since then, she's been around a bit. She went to university in Birmingham, took her best friend Lavinia with her, of course, and then that entailed a year in Buenos Aires. She then did another degree, which involved London and Paris. And since then, she's worked in, I think I'm right in sequence, Paris, Madrid, London, and Sydney. And in all these places, she's accumulated friends. And some of them have travelled huge distances to come here. And for that, thank you very much. Having said that, now, of course, she's chosen her life partner in Clayton. And as I said, I'm giving you the short version of the speech, so I'm just going to put down a few of my wishes. And helped by Juliana, these are they. I hope you find someone who never makes you question your self-worth. I hope you find someone who pursues your happiness as much as their own. I hope you find someone who supports you in the things that you're passionate about. I hope you find someone whom you can laugh with and sit in silence with and share your deepest secrets with. I hope you find someone who is your lover, your partner, and your friend. I hope you find someone who treats you as their equal, who learns and grows with you and beside you. I hope you find someone who appreciates all the tiny details that make up who you are. I hope you find someone who respects your heart, your family, and your values. I hope you find someone who reminds you that you deserve the love you give. And finally, I wish you both the greatest possible happiness. And I'm sure you'll all join me in a toast to Lara and Clayton and their future happiness.
Yes, I do to both of you today. And I'm very honored standing here to express all my best wishes and love to you both guys. Clay, don't be jealous. I fell in love with Lara much long before you did. I fell in love with her before even knowing what being in love meant. Correvano gli anni 2000, and on that September day, she walked into our classroom, on top of that beautiful Montello hill, which was home to us until we were 18. I'm very conscious this is creepy, but I still remember what spray perfume you were wearing, which is the bottle of So Kiss Me, which we both loved. Yes, Clay, I was absolutely in love. So this super pretty girl walks through the door with her long, shiny blonde hair, spectacular blue eye, cute little face. I immediately decided she was going to be my best friend. It also felt like a good balance with my own hairstyle at the time. I felt I was like Goku from Dragon Ball at the time, if you remember. High school, the lecture with Favoriti. That particular professor who hated both of us and probably the whole human race as a whole, with an unforgettable speech impediment. La grandissima Rita, our support teacher, who would turn on the day before an exam asking, Rita, you free this evening? Great. Would you mind summing up First, Second World War, a little bit of Cold War, all of it in 45 minutes, because then it gets boring? Great. Ishur Mario, the gatekeeper at our school, who was always puzzled about the flexibility of the time we'd actually get into school, and all the motorbikes we borrowed to go from our friends of my sister to go and grab a sandwich agli alimentari, without really having a license ourselves. Sorry, Mom and Dad. And we were pretty serious about people who turned down our borrowing requests. Once we wrapped into toilet paper the motorbike of Massimo Realini, who had the courage to say no. Bad choice, Massimo. The long phone calls after school. I have little memory about what we could potentially have to say after 8 hours, but I'm sure both our parents remember the phone bills very well. Special mentions go to Il Mozart, Spit in the Oceans, Il Williams, La Vodka La Menta, Il Monster della Franci, The Train Gavirate to Laveno that would pass 55 minutes past every hour, our 17 years old birthday party featuring DJ Rino, Pietra Ligure Alan, and breakdance. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, me, Lara, and Sylvia, actually, we took a breakdance course because we thought that standing on our head was such a cool skills to have. Being teenagers together, the big dreams about our future, the big fears, the big questions. Then came Il Viaggio di Maturità, inspired by the film Silvio Muccino, the famous trips that high school grads take trying to find themselves. We went to Greece with, again, other 30 friends from school. Big mention goes to Fuxi, who was the only man out of 30 girls. The island hopping, Ios, the hippie island party, Mykonos, Santorini, Lo Scorpion, 3 hours sleep a night, Il Far Out, we were 17. All the museums we have visited in that holiday, right? After school, you had clear in your head that you wanted to go to the UK to attend university. I had little clue about who I was or what I was going to do, and you gave me the inspiration and the courage to follow on that path. Jenny, Don't Be Hasty, the tune that took us to Birmingham in your dad's car. Who will ever forget 33 Croydon Road and 12 Grange Road? Probably the messiest house on the planet,
Yes.
but so home to us.
Yes.
Yes. And my mom could confirm as well. So home to us and to the rest of Birmingham, to be honest. The only parties we would invite 50 people and 150 would turn up. We lived 4 Erasmus years in a row, learned the first tough life lessons, helped each other make big important decisions. Then India, our first big trip together, which could have easily turned into our last one if we didn't survive that McDonald's food poisoning. Still remember us walking around with that little knife we have found in a hostel just in case we were in danger. The biggest emotions that marked our lives and thinkings forever. Remember that hostel in Agra we got for £2 a night and thought it was such a great deal? And then they told us there may be a danger of having snakes coming out of the toilet at night. But don't you worry, just shut the door, madam, okay? Sure. Remember when we traveled on Yogan's motorbike in the Indian night humidity, which most people would find unbearable, but we just loved. The kids at the orphanage who couldn't get enough of us singing and dancing. Macarena. Remember their faces when we took pictures of them. They rarely saw their images of themselves beside in dirty ponds. The trip was the first time we experienced the love we share for Asia. Step by step, we were enjoying being on the journey of self-discovering and becoming who we were. We then moved to Madrid, Spain, a country in which we both decided we wanted to go back in the future, build our families in the same road so that our kids could become best friends. And then London, the city that will see us together just in a couple of months. In Spain, you learned how to play the guitar. Now, I know this may seem like not a big deal to many of you, but it is. It is because it's such a representation of who you are. You think anything is possible. From learning a new instrument when you're not a kid anymore, to learn to live in different countries, cultures, to fast-track any kind of career you decided to start. Your curiosity, entrepreneurial spirit always encouraged me and everyone to think anything really is possible if you put the right effort into it. You didn't only move forward, you grew, developed, flourished, and progressed. And there is a subtle but fundamental difference between moving forward and progressing. We then explored Cuba for my birthday, where they don't sell any product that is common here in Europe. No birthday cakes, no candles, but the solution finder that was in you had an idea. Why don't we steal the candles from the church? And so you did. You made me spend the most amazing birthday of my life in a super local restaurant, singing and dancing with the waiters, and with a white candle from the church in my hand. Somebody can say more, but I say amazing. Again, special mention to Fuxi, the only man in that room with 7 other girls. Anyway, Isa, don't worry, nothing happened. Oh, you were there, great. Even better. Sorry. I'm emotional. Seem we lived in the same... Yeah, great. Seem we've lived in the same place forever, but no, we gave each other a break. You moved to Argentina, then to Paris, and recently Australia. And in every place you met incredible people, enriching even more the person you are. And then you called me. That end of December morning, I was getting ready to go skiing, and you were in tears, barely speaking. I was like, right, Clay. What have you done? What the hell do I have to travel to the other side of the world? What happened? But no.
That's how it happened.
He proposed, and you were over the moon. And I knew you were exactly where you should have been. I have countless memories of us, of you. We saw each other grew up. More than that, we helped each other grow up. We enabled each other to get to the people we are today. Friendship is one of the most beautiful and necessary type of relationship. To me, it's the base of any form of love. And finding a friend isn't easy. A friend who truly wishes the best for you, is happy when you are and feel pains when you're sad. Who takes the other one's missions to succeed in life very personally and always cheers for it. A friend that you can't wait just to be with. You're a beautiful friend, Lara, not only to me. I called you a couple of months ago and I was in a low moment and you told me, see, this is why I need to be in Europe, because when the people I love are down, I want to be there to lift them up. You manage to find happiness everywhere you go. That is unbelievably powerful. You manage to turn things upside down, and I truly believe it's because good vibes attract good vibes. And your positive energy is contagious. You have no prejudice and you're optimistic. This is what will enable you to achieve everything you want in life. Learn how to dance under the rain, right? You had your struggles, we all had. But I've never seen you giving up on life. You're so brave. You face life, its opportunities and challenges with your head held high. You're curious about everything, impatient for discovery. You speak up when you think you're right. You're eager to make a meaningful impact in this world and to the people surrounding you. And today is about taking a step back. Look at this room. It's so full of people who love you so much. We're here celebrating your great beauty, Lara. Clay, you've got a rare gem next to you. Take care of it. Nurture her, challenge her, stretch her, grow her, support her, love her with all your soul. Be just right here watching me. Lara, you've found an unbelievable man. The most loving husband, funniest partner in crime, solid best friend, travel buddy. I know you're gonna make each other very, very happy. Thank you, Julian and Wilf, for taking the decision of moving to Italy in the summer of 2001. Thanks for being such supportive and encouraging parents. You can be proud of yourselves. Thanks, Robbie, for being always the big brother, despite being the youngest one. Really, yeah. You've always been there, and I'll never forget our sumo fights in your house in Henley. Lara, both, I can't wait to be next to you in your future milestones. Can't wait to see you buying your first house, having plenty of mini babies, setting up your wine dream business, but I also can't wait to just spend life with you, my friends. Aperitivos, cinemas on Sunday night, a stand-up comedy, a picnic, for example. Can't wait to live life's simple things, which is what you taught me and you teach everyone. Learn to love the simplest thing in life, that's the key to happiness. You possess a mesmerizing, graceful, and disarming simplicity, which, as Leonardo da Vinci says, is the ultimate form of sophistication. I had to Google something clever to say at this stage. Whoever put you in my life, God, destiny, who knows, must have loved me very, very much. I promise this is the last bit in Italian. Oggi siete rinati insieme. Vi auguro di pensare sempre per due, di amarvi l'un l'altro, ma di riconoscere sempre la vostra individualità. La libertà in una relazione è importantissima. Lasciatevi liberi di continuare a conoscere, a conoscervi. Non fate di questo amore una prigione. Lasciatevi liberi di potervi scegliere giorno dopo giorno, così sarete davvero invincibili. Vi auguro di danzare e cantare insieme. Siate allegri. Ognuno di voi sia come la corda di uno strumento, unica e vibrante della stessa musica. Donatevi il meglio che avete, guardatevi con dolcezza, compassione, amore sfrenato. Imparate a rinnamorarvi. Abbiate coraggio e abbiate paura. Avere paura è bellissima, vuol dire che ti stai facendo le domande giuste. Siate una coppia di quelle che spacca, che si alza ogni giorno, ogni mattina e grida al mondo. L'amore vince sempre e faremo di questo amore un vero capolavoro. So che voi lo farete davvero. Ti voglio bene, amica mia. #amigas hasta el fin.
Firstly, I think we all should just acknowledge how beautiful and moving today's ceremony was. And Clayton and Lara, on behalf of just everyone here, we want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for giving us the privilege of witnessing such a special and wonderful moment between you two. Lara, it is absolutely no surprise that you make a beautiful, glowing bride. And Clayton, we appreciate that you made an effort. At least you have shoes on, no thanks to George. To the beautiful bridesmaids, girls, you look gorgeous, you don't need me to tell you that. And to the groomsmen, I think we did the best we could. So today is really a celebration of love, of lives joining together, of happiness for the future. And I think in life, if you're really lucky, there comes a moment where your path will cross with someone special. And it's a beautiful and scary moment because you realise in the depths of your soul that you are destined to be connected to this person forever. For Clayton and I, that moment occurred in high school, but I digress. Clayton, mate, watching you head off on your adventures far from home was in many ways really hard. But watching you grow from these experiences and be shaped by all the wonderful people that you've met along the way, and many of them are here tonight. And all these experiences have allowed you to mature into the kind, intelligent, handsome, arrogant, argumentative person you are today. But mate, I couldn't be prouder of you. And no one has had a more positive or profound effect than your beautiful wife sitting next to you. I first realised that this relationship was very different from all that had come before it, before I actually ever met you, Lara. So Clayton had come back home for a bit of a holiday, and we were relaxing on a beach, drinking a few beers, when Clayton decided he needed to take a photo to send back to you, Lara. What this apparently meant was I had to put down my nice cold beer, walk up and down a beach collecting driftwood, seashells, pebbles, seaweed, all to decorate the love heart that Clayton had drawn in the sand around Lara's name. Yeah, it didn't stop there. We then had a photo shoot. We didn't take a photo, we had a photo shoot for Zoolander over here. Much like, he turned me into an Instagram boyfriend is what he did. Just to get the perfect photo to send back to his new girl back home. But what I think it does go to show is even in those early days, he knew you were worth making extra effort. And, you know, I could continue to see the positive influence Lara has had in more experiences down the track. In fact, I remember a night of drinks at my house, and Clayton went on one of his fun, informative and belligerent rants. Nothing unusual. What was unusual, however, was the text message I got the next morning apologising if his words had offended anyone at the party. That was unheard of. This is coming from the man whose solution to rising ocean levels is just get rid of the whales.
It was one idea.
I should point out, before we get too excited, the message did start with, Lara has suggested. So I don't know whether that's as much progress, but we'll take it. But honestly, Lara, you are one of the most beautiful and genuine people I've ever had the privilege of having in my life. And you two are just such an amazing couple. The two of you can already see have the kind of selfless, genuine love that lasts a lifetime. I know you will both continue to cherish and grow in your love and life together. So I suppose now I should leave you with a bit of advice. Any married person in this room can tell you how crazy your wedding day is, and I'm sure you're figuring it out now. And today, like every day, it is really important just to steal a few moments for yourselves. In fact, that's what I want you to do right now. I want you to look into each other's eyes. Lara, can you put your hand just straight out like this? Clayton, I want you to put your hand on top of hers and continue to look into each other's eyes. And Clayton, I particularly want you to remember this moment. The rest of your married life, this is the last time you're ever going to have the upper hand.
For any of you that don't know me and who haven't stalked me on Facebook yet, I'm Lara's baby brother Robbie. I apologise for my following speech. Many of you might not get the stories, it might be a bit crude at times, but just have another drink and just deal with it really. So I'm not going to do some like sweet brown-nosing talk about love. No, I'm just going to go down to the truthful, savage facts about having had Lara as a sister. So let's start from the beginning. I was born on the 26th of May 1992. I was a healthy male, 6 pounds something. I had a good start in life, to find out that I had to share my parents with that thing. Lara apparently was a good sister. I don't really remember much from the early days, but Mum and Dad said she behaved well, and I just have to kind of go with that. I guess she played with her Barbies, I played with my action men. She was good at school, I wasn't. We shared a guinea pig, lived for 8 years. We kind of lived in relative harmony and success. This all soon changed though, because I've been thinking for a long time that something was wrong and something was missing, and that thing was Lavinia.
What the hell, Robbie?
And I was correct, Lara is evil. You might look at them now, they look all sweet and cute, and you're thinking like, what could they have done to you? But they were different back then. Believe me. Lavinia had short, jet black hair with bright blue dyed tips. She thought she was an emo, but if you could actually see her now, she looked like a dyke. For those of you that don't know what a dyke is, it's a lesbian with more male physical
It's me, Gray.
Lara, on the other hand, was different in her own way. She was just weirdly tall and gangly. She had big feet, And at some point she had this huge gap between her front teeth that I could almost fit my finger through, and it genuinely creeped me out. Yeah, it is. These two girls are the reason why I decided to go to boarding school age 13. There was literally no escape. As soon as I was home...
That was the best day of our life.
Yeah, shut up. As soon as I'd get home, my parents weren't there to protect me. It was a case of pin me down. They were really strong back then. And they'd force me to watch horror movies. They shaped my eyebrows. And literally to this day, the song Beautiful by Christina Aguilera is completely ruined. They played it at stupid times. Another horrible fact, Lara one day found a photo of me back from when I was tiny. I was dressed as a ballerina. I don't know why I was, but I guess it wasn't out of my own free will. But she decided to try and show off in front of her friends, and she said she's going to upload it on Facebook. I was a pretty insecure 12-year-old in the first world, and I was like, Lara, if you do that, I'm going to shave your head in your sleep. She never uploaded it, but she got me back eventually, because since the moment she moved to Australia, I'm sure she did something and I started losing my hair. I'm going to say, well played, but you should have planned better, because what the hell did Dad do to you? Right, let's move on to something else. What about relationships? I think I can officially say that prior to Clayton, Lara went through an interesting bunch. They had to be more French, more Portuguese, more Spanish than the average man. They had to have darker eyes, hair than the average man. And they had to be shorter than the average man as well. And skinnier. Pussies. You can imagine my reaction when Lara told me she'd matched someone new on Tinder, and she was like, Robbie, I really like them this time. And I was like, emotionless. I was like, yeah, I've heard this one before. But actually, to my surprise, he wasn't short. He was tall, he was Australian, and he was into surfing, rugby, and I was like, Jesus, I'll give this guy a chance. He wasn't into academics, just like me. I was like, we're going to go on like a house on fire. Where am I? So, yeah, pretty much from there on, it moved on with Clayton, and he took her off to Australia against my own kicking will. Lies, I was pretty happy for it to go. But yeah, from there, it was pretty much a case of, I spoke to Clayton a few months ago, and to my shock, I asked him, like, Clayton, how's the surfing, how's the rugby? And he was like, oh, I don't know, mate. I ain't been doing much of that recently.
Bad accent, bad accent!
But I have been doing salsa classes and acting classes with your sister.
Worst accent ever!
Haters can hate. Potatoes can potato. All I'm going to say is, Clayton, you've married her now. Don't worry, you don't need to impress her. Because obviously we are in dire need to add some masculinity into your system. We'll drink some beers, go motorbiking. I've heard a few bad accidents have happened. Lara took Clayton rollerblading, at which point he went down a hill, lost control, hit into a sign and broke his wrist. Only a week ago he was gardening with my mum, and he placed a heavy rock on top of another rock, crushing one of his fingers. A bit of blood came out and he fainted in the kitchen. On the other side, I want to say a genuine thank you. You've taken care of my sister over the last couple of years while she's been on the other side of the world, and you've made her happier than I ever could, and you've liked her more than I ever could as well. One last thing. I heard that yesterday you walked into the toilet whilst my girlfriend was naked. Yes, you're at home, but don't feel too at home. Part of your lives, obviously, for the last, with the time difference especially, haven't FaceTime on board with any of that junk. But you're here now, you're back in Europe. I'm really excited for the future and to be a part of your lives, so congratulations to you both.
To try to put into words the years that Clayton, oh God, I'm going to cry already. The years that I and Clayton have had together is, to put it down on paper was very difficult. Buonasera. I am Clayton's big sister, Cheri. The day's finally here, and what a beautiful day it has been.
Support, unlike Robbie.
Hard to read. You were both surrounded, as many people have said tonight, you were both surrounded by people who are so grateful and happy to be part of your big day. I think it's a testament to both of you that you're able to get friends and family from all around the globe to spend your special day with you. I have known... God, fucking hell. I didn't mean to swear. I'm sorry. I've known Clayton longer than just about anyone in this room, rather than Clayton's father, Richard. And that has been the absolute privilege of my life. Fuck.
More wine.
And I think, Richard, you would agree that it is the privilege of your life as well. You have grown... Oh, far out. Okay. You have grown from a little baby, and let's face it, you were never little, into a man that I am unbelievably proud of. And it would be impossible for me to tell you how much I love you and how proud I am of you today. Lara, you'll be easier. Lara. You look unbelievably beautiful today. And every day that I have ever known you, you fucking bitch. That wasn't written down, that was ad-lib. You are now officially my sister and a part of our family. Having lived with Clayton myself, I know how absolutely maddening it is to live with him. So props to you, sister. I also know that he loves you with everything he has, and life with him will never be quiet or boring. Thank you for loving him the way he deserves and for accepting us into your family circle. To Juliana, Wilf and Robbie, it has been an absolute pleasure to get to know you. It is a testament to you that you have raised an independent, loving, wickedly smart and curious woman. Thank you for accepting all of us into your home last night, and I look forward to the happy times our family will share over the coming years. Finally, 14 years ago, Clayton did a reading at my husband and our wedding. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Our wedding, and I'd like to do the same reading now to complete the circle. Happiness in marriage is not something that just happens. A good marriage must be created. In the art of marriage, the little things are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say I love you at least once a day. It is never going to sleep angry. That is how you say in Italian, bullshit. You will go to bed angry many times. But I digress. It is establishing a relationship in which the independence is equal, dependence is mutual, and the obligation is reciprocal. It is not only marrying the right partner, it is being the right partner. And on that note, please join me in toasting the bride and groom. Aviva gli sposi! Oh, hang on! Aviva gli sposi!
Please do the more. I hope you all have at least a couple of bottles on your table, because we could be in for a long one. On a more sincere note, I'd like to begin by saying on behalf of my new wife, Lara, and I, we'd like to thank you all for joining us and making today such a fantastic and memorable day for all of us. For those of you who weren't listening to Ian or haven't undertaken a census, we have nearly 60 people from 16 different cultures here tonight, of which I can proudly say I am responsible for all of the Australians. But it is on days such as this, when people have flown halfway across the world and travelled across countries to be with you, that it highlights the most important thing in life is the friends, family, and for me today, the partner that you choose to spend it with. For myself, the lead up to marriage and our wedding day has been one of anticipation and excitement, but also a time of introspection and reflection of the life that I've lived so far, but also the life that lies ahead with my beautiful new wife. I'll admit that as a humble Australian from the fringes of Sydney, I am somewhat baffled at my good fortune to find myself married to a beautiful, cultured, English, Italian, South African, multilingual bombshell that is Lara Calderpotts. Damn right. Even standing here now, I find myself stunned to be spending the rest of my life with her, in a good way. While none of you can be able to relate to this specific brand of good fortune, I'm sure that all of us here tonight have found ourselves in a similar situation or place, perhaps even married to someone who we could never entirely have anticipated or expected. Again, in a good way. When I ask myself why this is the case, I believe that one reason is that life presents us all with opportunities. Opportunities to overthink and opportunities to overanalyze. And love is no exception. Whilst I would never claim to be the most romantic of men, though after Robbie's speech I'm definitely not the most masculine of men, I can freely admit to you that at some point in the past I have definitely asked myself the question, who is the woman that I will call my soulmate? Now, the dramatic and theatrical answer to this question, and possibly the French, Spanish, and Portuguese answer to this question, would be that today I stand before you with my answer. Today, the woman that stands beside me, although she's over there, is a woman that was made for me, a woman that was meant for me, destined for me, and I for her. A woman whom without I would be nothing. A woman whom I will love for the rest of my life, and on the optimistic assumption that an afterlife exists beyond this life and into the next. While this might be the most dramatic and even the most romantic answer, one which contains aspects of the truth, I can't say it feels like an entirely complete answer. Or at least I don't consider it to be my complete answer. For this I am grateful, because for me the true answer is far richer, beautiful, and perhaps even more romantic. However, I will admit it is a somewhat strange, confusing, and frustrating sensation to encounter when trying to write a groomsman speech. Upon reflection, the answer is one that comes from a place that anyone who has ever read or experienced love can understand. That love, no matter how beautiful, is not without a certain sort of tragedy. For me, the tragic part of this truth is how close we came to a life as sliding doors. The infinite opportunities that existed for us to miss out on one another, and every moment that we've shared together ever since we've met. To living in a world where Lara and I never swiped right and never spoke, a world where we never met, never kissed, never danced, and never fell in love. A life where we never travel, never have a family, and never grow old. A life where I've lived without meeting, knowing, and having loved you. A life where I still wonder who is my soul. Un momento, por favor. I married a woman who I am lucky enough to now call my wife. My wife, who is better than any I could ever plan, dream, or design to meet. My wife, who I encountered in some cosmic coincidence and have never let go since. My wife, who has transformed the way I feel, love, and savor life itself. My wife, who despite seemingly endless visa problems, leaving a rich network of friends and family to relocate to Australia, and even after hearing my peak Aussie accent, in all its purity, has loved, supported, and will continue to do so by my side for the rest of my life. I promise you the end of this speech is in sight. But as I drew to a close last night, 2 a.m. writing the speech, I found myself struggling to resolve some of the themes that I've raised for myself and perhaps even for you. Themes of love, the tragic element of falling into it, and the ease with which we surrender to it. So perhaps I should conclude by putting a stop to what started this saga in the first place, which, if you'll remember, was overthinking and overanalyzing, at least for the meantime anyway. So tonight I would like to leave you all with the feeling and spirit of gratitude, of time spent with friends, old and new, family, loved ones, and for me, my beautiful new wife, Lara. The first bit's done. So that was the first half. Now we have an intermission, because I actually have, after all of that, the need to introduce some levity into the situation, and I'm going to do that with some thank yous. There's a lot, so I'll try and be as quick and punchy as possible, because I know that everyone wants to dance. But firstly, I'd like to begin with a thank you to Lara's lovely parents, Wilf and Juliana. I'd like to thank you for being exceptional hosts and having me over the last few weeks, for hosting our reception last night, for being such accommodating neighbours tonight regarding any noise complaints, and most of all for trusting me with the happiness and care of your beautiful daughter. To Lara's beautiful bridesmaids, I'd like to thank you for having a soothing influence on Lara, your support throughout the week and today in making it what it was, and for your support during her time in Australia, which was harder for the distance between you all. I'd also like to thank my dashing groomsmen for scrubbing up so well. Your support today, and for not starting a Gillette Rouges protest movement for having to wear a blazer in mid-30-degree heat. I had intended to thank Brendon for a far less chafing and character assassination speech at my wedding, but considering what I gave to his, we're square. I had a place where I was going to thank Robbie, just for saying something nice. No, we can skip that. Oh wait, no, there was something. Robbie for his willful conscription into being our MC for the evening, and my new brother-in-law, even if he is a bit of a hard ass. To Lara's uncle Ian for the enormous time and effort that clearly went into the delivery of an amazing and compelling speech and ceremony today, one that I actually found some of the themes of my speech tonight reflected in. These are the words that I think, at least for myself, I have taken them to heart, and the spirit of them will remain with Lara and I throughout the rest of our married lives. I'd also like to give a special shout out to the Down Under crew, the people who trekked it here from Australia. Just to name a few: Richard, Cheri, my brother-in-law Glenn, my stepdad Ken, Romy, Gustav, Brendon, and Anna. I don't think I missed anyone.
George!
But when anyone asks, I say that you're Canadian Serbian. So. And finally, I'd like to thank you, Lara. And from here, I really need to ad-lib, because without Lara, in more ways than one, this amazing night wouldn't have happened. I cannot tell you the burden that it must be to carry and organize a wedding when your husband at best speaks rudimentary, dare I say, beginner Italian. The skill and the patience at organizing and coordinating everything to be what it is tonight is absolutely exceptional, and I find myself blown away even now. So I'd like to finish on a note. Oh yeah, I'm done. Sorry. I should have left on something more profound. Oh well. Lara, to you. Oh yeah, no, I was giving it to you. More profound, there we go.
I'm gonna be quick. No, I just wanted to say a massive, massive thank you to everybody who's come from a million different countries, cities, like literally all over the world. Thank you to those who came all the way from Australia, because that is no small feat, I know it. I got sciatica after coming from Australia. And to everyone, thank you for being my friends throughout my whole lifetime. I'm so happy that you're all here. Thank you to my family for being the biggest support I could ever ask for. Thank you to the Locanda Pozzetto for this beautiful venue, the photographers, the musicians, Clay for being very patient, and I kind of got a bit angsty. Thank you to Robbie for being our MC, and Lavi, Cheri, Brendon, shit, I'm forgetting people, everyone who did a speech. Thank you so much. It was really special, so I hope you enjoy the evening. We're a little bit late, but let's kick off the festivities.